Hi everyone, today in this video I'll show you that how you can log in into the Laravel application using the custom stuff. So before this I'm using the starter kit most of the time, but some of my subscribers asked that please shoot video on how we can implement the custom login functionality into the Laravel. So let's get started. So here I have prepared a fresh session of Laravel 10, and this one is a pretty basic stuff. So let me introduce with the stuff. So this one is a web route, simple a login route, a post route, and then home route. This one is representing the controller login stuff. Then here I'm reading the email and password. It's pretty basic stuff. And then I have prepared a user seeder where I'm seeding my user detail, and I have run this seeder to seed this data into the database. So let's give it a refresh, and yes, my user is seeded into the database. So simply copy this user and log in this user. So I'm going to enter the correct details now. Just click on this login, and yes, now we are getting the details, right? Okay, I'm going to now remove this one, and here I'm going to implement the custom stuff. Okay, we will also achieve this, that for example if someone want to achieve this want to get the login user using the auth user, so they will still get this user. Okay, so let's implement the first stuff, that is this user exist in the database. So just find this user, and then user where email call this email, and then you need to write the first to check that if this user exists or not. So I'm going to making sure first that this user isn't exist. So what I want to do, so I want to do return back with errors, or you can pass your custom error, something like this, incorrect credentials, okay, incorrect credentials. So here I'm going to return the user, that if this user exists, so then display this user. So just to give it a refresh, and yes, we are getting this user because this user exists in the database. But what if I want to enter the John 1 and something like this login, and yes, return back and throwing the incorrect credentials, right? Okay, now I'm going to enter this John again, right, and then log in this user, and yes, I'm getting this user, right? Okay, and now I want to, here we check that this user exists, right? So now we need to match its password. So how we can match its password? So simply you need to do here is if here you need to check that our user is already logged in or not. So I'm going to check that if this user isn't logged in, then it's going to log in this user. If this user isn't logged in, then I'm going to write auth attempt, and then this attempt accept the credentials array. So you can create this credentials array or directly pass this something like this, credentials equal email, and then email would be the above email, and then simply the password would be also this password, and then key would be also the password. Okay, and then simply pass this to the auth attempt, right? Log in this user, and then third parameter, second parameter would be remember. So you can pass this true and false. So this will now remember your details in the remember column of user table. Okay, so if this user isn't logged in, so log in this user, and then what you need to do here, return this user sorry, return to route to home, right? So home is added here in this route, so I'm pointing this out. Okay, so now let's give it a refresh, continue, and yes, we are successfully able to visit this home page, but this open home page doesn't exist. So simply create this method open home page, and I'm going to open this public function, open home page, and then return view, and then I think home, this blade exists here. Yes, home is exists. So let's get refresh, and yes, you are logged in as John. So it means that now our user is logged in successfully. So now let's suppose here I want to display my user all detail. So I can display simply auth user, and then okay, give it a refresh, and yes, we are getting the logged in user here. So in this way you can log in your user, and then similar you can log out this user too. For example, you want to log out this user, so simply type this auth logout, and then this user will be log out. Let's get refresh, and yes, now there is no name because this user is logged out. And if I go here and refresh, so now there is no user is logged in. So in this way you can log in the user, and then you can achieve this using the auth logout. Other functionalities are same. You can check the user login user using this user, and then you can also check this that user is logged in or not. So you can check this in similar way. So the main thing is you need to check that this user exists in the database, and then you need to check that this user is if this user is already logged in, so then you need to redirect this if this user is already logged in. So in this way you need to redirect to the login route, right? So if this user isn't if this user is already login, so you need to return this to the home page. Otherwise redirect this to the login page. Oh sorry, we are attempting this login, so we don't need to redirect this on the login page. We need to log in this user and redirect this to the home page. So in this way you can implement this first checking the user, and then if this user isn't logged in, so then you can use auth attempt to log in this user. So Laravel will automatically handle this stuff for you. So this is the way how you can do this. So if you want to cover more topics which are unclear, so share them into the comments box, and I'll try to shoot video on it. Thank you. Bye bye.